If you guys remember my previous video about the Ram TRX, where one of my sources at the Sterling Heights assembly plant told me that he saw that the actual Hellcat engine was rolling around the plant by a bunch of engineers. Well, what if I told you I had someone else tell me the same engine that was rolling around my previous video just made another appearance and that it's getting wired up and was being rolled off to a secret area? So maybe, just maybe, we might be seeing some kind of secret TRX Mule sooner rather than later. Okay, well, for 47,000 friends and the 57% of you guys who are watching these videos and have not subscribed yet, help a butter out to try to get my first milestone of 50,000 subscribers. You know, when you subscribe to the channel, it's actually breathtaking.
It's breathtaking. I suggest you try it.
We have to stop.
No, don't go nowhere just yet. But let's get right into this update. Now, if you watched my previous video about the Ram TRX, I talked about a Hellcat engine that made a special appearance at the SHAP plant where we used to make the Ram TRX. Now, I was happy that this engine showed up. So this means this engine could be placed in the Mule very shortly. But I was mad because, as I said in that video, it was just a regular old orange block supercharged Hemi, which basically means that the new TRX might not have much more horsepower and basically any improvements since 2024 when it last was actually produced. So I was hoping for a red-eye engine, or dare I say a Demon 170 engine, or hell, even a red-eye engine with Demon 170 blower. But I guess we're not going to have anything more than, like, what, you know, the 8, 9, maybe 1,000 horsepower TRX. Not just yet. But what interested me in this source, what he was telling me, is that the engine ran down the normal line that it normally does to get its actual procedures done, and then it stopped at the engine station. Now, I'm pretty sure he was telling me that this is like the last stop before the engine is actually put into a position where it's made into a chassis. But basically, the Hellcat engine was outfitted with the transmission and the wiring stuff before it was taken off the line. So that has me thinking that Ram must be getting this engine ready to be placed in a Mule, and that Mule is not going to run down the assembly line, it's going to run somewhere else. So this Mule, I think they don't want anyone else to see, because I'm hoping that this Mule has changes to it, that they don't want things like that to get leaked out to me, because everyone knows what, let's say, Ram and Dodge knows. My dear friends at Ram and Dodge, they both know I have people inside the plant that sends me information about very interesting stuff. So I literally have two theories on exactly what is going on with this Mule and why they're being so secretive about this. Because if the TRX is going to look basically like a RHO, then why not run it down the assembly line? Because I mean, it would be literally just that simple. Just run down the line and basically put it into an RHO body and go do your testing and stuff. So I have two theories that I have about what is going on with this engine, because my source had told me that, yeah, this engine was basically taken off the line before it was supposed to go and get made it to a chassis and stuff, and it got taken off by engineers and rolled off to their little secret area, because there's a little section in the plant to where they have like this little launch area where they work on future vehicles that's supposed to be coming out before they hit the production line. And that engine went to that actual section. So like they had like little sections like that, where they have sections where they work on future products and stuff. They have like a VIP section where my TRX went to one time, because I was making TRX videos about 4 or 5 years ago, and my TRX got magically pulled off the line and was held up in one of these little areas, and they went and did like a further inspection of my truck, because I was making TRX quality videos, because there was a lot of initial build issues with early TRXs, and they found out what my VIN was on my truck and pulled it off the assembly line for about 2 weeks, checked it, and then once I had actually, you know, sent word of the food chain about my TRX stuff, then it magically gets released to my dealer and stuff. And then my dealer had a funny story of like Ram called them about my truck, but that's something that I talked to you guys about like 4 or 5 years ago in a previous video. But it's good news that this engine is actually getting put in that area, because we know that without a shadow of a doubt, within the next 6 months to a year, that we're going to see that engine in some kind of production vehicle, right? So I'm hoping that if this is a TRX that is going into, that it's back in that secret little area, and there's going to be more changes to it than we actually would even know than the RHO. Because that's one of my main concerns, is that if this is going to be a RHO and TRX future going on. We had both these trucks. I don't want both of them to look exactly the same. I don't want to be able to be like, damn, I can't tell which one's which. Only way I can tell is a sticker on the cab and basically the little what the emblem on the actual hood, because the RHO says Hurricane on it and then the TRX says Supercharged Hemi. So I'm hoping that this is the case, that the TRX will look different from the RHO more than we thought. But I mean, it's kind of hard, and Ram had to do some slight tweaks and changes to it, right? Because the RHO has literally the same bed, the same front end, same hood, and it's like, what else could they do to make the RHO and TRX look different? I mean, I hope it's something as simple as like maybe change the hood up on TRX, maybe put some different fender flares on there, maybe change the grill out, maybe go 37-inch tires. They got to do something to make the TRX look different. So that's what I'm hoping that the case is, because I don't want to see kind of like a watered down approach to where the TRX RHO looks exactly the same, kind of like a 2018 Demon and a Scat Pack looks exactly the same wide body flare. Somebody can put like a Hellcat badge on a Scat Pack and no one will know the difference between a Scat Pack and a Hellcat. People who aren't in the know, aren't initiated. So that's my first theory about it being inside of a TRX. Then my second theory is it's going inside of an actual street truck. Now this is something that me and TK talked about a while ago, that we heard that Ram was going to consider playing around with some actual street versions of actual trucks like the TRX, and basically offer those kind of high performance street based vehicles, rather than literally the thing that pisses me off that these automakers got the last 5-6 years is like all they're doing is offering high horsepower off-road trucks. And I think part of the reason why they did that crap was because of cafe and carb, right? You basically make a crazy off-road truck, you make it so daggone expensive to where people can't really afford it. So that means that not that many people are going to actually buy it. But if you had like a street truck version of that same truck, the cost would easily go down $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 because you don't have all that off-road nonsense on the actual truck. So I love my TRX, don't get me wrong, but I would love if there would have been an actual on-road street truck version of my TRX. So I'm hoping that now that cafe and carb is gone, cafe fine set to zero, that these automakers will basically bring back the street truck segment. That's basically what Ford has done with their a lot of these dealerships offering these single cab and these quad cab F-150 pickup trucks with superchargers in them, right? So I'm hoping that Ram took notice of this and they're going to make their own version of this out of their own Ram trucks. And I'm hoping that this engine, this Mule, is going to be one of those trucks. So this is, like I said, my theory that, yeah, maybe this is going inside of an actual street truck. And I'll give you like a little bonus theory. Now I was talking to TK about this same update that I gave you guys, that yeah, this engine was on the line, it got a transmission put up to it, it got actually all the wiring stuff put on it, and it got rolled off to the actual secret area. That me and him got to a little conversation of how someone else has sent him photos of how Solaris was taking deliveries of a couple of those Roush F-150s, those single cab versions. So those are the supercharged trucks that those Ford dealers are doing. It's offering as like a $55,000 package or something like that. So Solaris was taking delivery of those, and they're taking delivery of those, then that means they're basically benchmarking those vehicles for hopefully a single cab version of the Ram 1500. Maybe it's for the quad cab version or whatever, or crew cab version, the ones they already have. But TK did say in another video that he had previously posted, that he heard over there at CTC, that they were building a Ram single cab version, that maybe this might actually happen. And it makes a lot of sense how CTC would be actually building a single cab Ram 1500 truck. Because I mean, at some point in time, eventually the Ram HD trucks got to move from that fourth cab up to a new cab. So it makes sense if they're going to actually build an actual single cab Ram 1500 now, go ahead and get into the market and actually put an actual supercharger or maybe a 392 or a 5.7 in there and grab that segment of customers that actually want that. And then in 3 or 4 years after the refresh of the Ram HD truck, they now will have a single cab, a crew cab, and a quad cab that go from the previous 4th gen Ram HD truck cab to the 5th gen cab. And then when they move over to Ram 1500 from its 5th gen body, go to the 6th gen, at least that, Ram HD trucks got a 5th gen body. And then when Ram goes to the 7th gen, they go develop a single cab, quad, and crew cab on that one. And then basically HD truck from 5th gen to 6th gen. So it makes a lot of sense for them to actually go and do this, because they got to make a single cab at some point in time. They can't keep the Ram HD truck on the Gen 4 cab for too much longer or whatever, right? Keep it in that same exact cab. So hopefully that's some very good news, because you can have a under $60,000 supercharged single cab Ram 1500 truck. And hopefully a quad cab or crew cab versions, we'll see those kind of vehicles come and actually make a return, because I would love for a return to the golden era of like muscle trucks, to where you had the F-150 Lightning, you had the Silverado SS, and then you had the SRT-10 Viper truck. So I hope that these automakers bring back a golden era of muscle trucks that was basically when I was in high school. I would love to see that, to where all of them, instead of back then where basically Ram was the only one to put a V10 in a truck, I hope that all of them basically go sit down and compete with one another and bring us out street powered supercharged trucks. And as I said in the videos, I would love to see a 392 street truck, and also an actual, now in this video, I want to see an actual supercharged truck, because if I can get a supercharged, cheap little 50, 60 grand supercharged pickup truck for the streets, I would love to do that. I think that'd be pretty cool. It's definitely a lot more affordable than spending 120 some thousand dollars on TRX. Like if they made like a 80 grand version with the actual quad cab, you got a lot of options in there, that thing would sell, and it would not be that bad of a proposition, because they didn't have to worry about cafe fines and stuff anymore. So that's what I'm hoping, and that's what I'm gonna stick with. But that's basically the end of this video, and once I get more information about what's happening with that mule, I'm definitely gonna make another video about that. But this is very exciting that the engine was spotted again. It got sent out to a little secret area, but hopefully within 6 months we're gonna see some kind of crazy supercharged sounding mule hitting the streets. And if it looks like a crazy SUV, because it's like the same thing that Ford did when they was testing the Maverick, they put these crazy panels on the back of it to make it look like an SUV and not a pickup truck. Stellantis did the same thing with the Wagoneer. They didn't test the Wagoneer body initially. They basically took the Wagoneer chassis and threw like a Ram Classic body on top of it and rolled around testing it. So hopefully we'll see some kind of crazy looking mule like that, which will confirm whether or not we're gonna see an actual single cab truck, or we'll see, you know, just a regular quad cab, crew cab, and hopefully someone will get some actual engine clips, because I don't like sometimes that people are showing these spy photos or spy videos and there's like no sound. Like I would love to see an actual clip and actually hear one of these trucks rolling around with a supercharged Hemi V8 in there. So hopefully that is the case. But that's basically it for this video right here. I am very excited, and hopefully I'll get some more information about this secret mule that's being worked on over there at SHAP. And if you basically want to take a look at some of the things I think SRT should bring back, you can check out this video that I made yesterday. And until the next time, I'm out.